Greetings and salutations, this is Rick. I hope everyone's having a great day. Apologies for not putting a video up for quite a while. I have been concentrating on my van construction for the last, well, getting on for a month now. Now the van is pretty much finished. I'm hoping to do a van reveal video. I've got a kind of an idea in my head about how I want to do it. I'm just waiting on the upholstery to be finished for the seats, and then I shall do it. Hopefully it won't be any more than about a week, so I won't show you the van today. But as you can see, I'm in the allotment, having a sit down. I've actually got a chair in the Polytunnel. I thought it was about time I got one in here, so I can just chill out and enjoy. I've also bought a few other items from home to kind of make the Polytunnel a little bit more productive. I've got lots of plant pots and a table now, so I can hopefully just come down here and leisurely potter around and plant little seedlings and things like that. So it should make the whole experience a little bit more enjoyable. Now, as you can see, things are doing extremely well inside the Polytunnel here. Things are growing the way they're supposed to. I'll give you a quick scan over everything. I am harvesting from here now. Our mystery crop turned out to be not spring onions but radishes, and we've got some lovely radishes. Let's see if I can find one. It's producing some really nice radishes, which I seem to be chomping on a lot while I'm working in here. I sort of always got I'm doing a Bugs Bunny impression. I've always got a radish or some kale in my hands. I've been trying to thin out this kale as it goes. I'm going to thin out some more. It's obviously growing up really well, but again, I'm regularly harvesting it and chomping on it. Oh, my manners. It's got a lovely tangy, fresh greens, very slight oniony tang. It's very nice, very filling, loads of nutrition, which is what we want. Same goes for the salad, the salad leaves. As fast as I'm cutting them and harvesting them, they're growing back. So we're having some really big salads at the moment. And more radishes here again. We're just harvesting all the time from here now. Look at that, that's grand. I shall have that in a minute. Yummy! Now I want to say also thanks to, I'm really sorry I can't remember your name or your channel name, the person who recommended the high flex gloves. I actually got myself some, and they're just fantastic. Basically I was getting fed up with all the dirt getting under my fingernails every time I come out here and stuff, and the gloves I used to just use cheap riggers gloves, and they were okay for the heavy duty stuff, but for the more refined stuff they were really cumbersome. So somebody recommended high flex Ansell high flex gloves. That's what we got here, and these are really thin gloves but really hard wearing. And I mean they're not massively cheap, but if you buy them in bulk, I think I bought 12 pairs of them. It wasn't too bad, and hopefully they'll last me the rest of the year. But I've been using them now for a couple of days, and I'm really impressed with them. So thanks for the recommendation. Now, you may or may not remember, a number of years ago I made a hydroponic system. It was just an experiment really, more than anything else. But I found these in my shed the other day. Now these were the nutrient solutions for the hydroponic system when I had it. Now I no longer use the hydroponic system, but I'm left with these nutrients, and I'm thinking, well, I don't want to waste them, so I'm maybe doing some experimenting with just using them as general plant food. Now if anybody's got any experience with this, or knows better, and maybe I shouldn't use these on my plants, do feel free to let me know in the notes below. Now, one of the things I'm going to be doing this year is growing lots of things in pots. I've just pulled this bucket from out there. Now it did have a load of soil in it, and I've just tilled that, broken the soil up, and I'll put it in here. Now obviously when you've got a lot of pots to fill, you're going to need some material to fill them up with, and if I just use like the bought-in material all the time, it's going to be really costly. So what I'm going to be trying to do is gather any kind of used soil that I can from all across the site. And one of the places I'm going to get some soil from, I'm hoping to get some soil from, is from my compost bin. So let's go over and have a look and see whether I can get anything from there. Now this is obviously the fresh stuff I've been putting on top, mixing it in with old empty pots, kitchen scraps, and of course shredded paper. But what I'm interested in is what's down the bottom there. So let's pull this away and see what's what. Go. Right, let's see what happens. Potato in there. It's a potato. I could plant that. Yeah, some of this is quite raw. Some of it's usable, but I have to be a little bit careful about what I dig out there. I'll just mix it into that other soil that I got from the bucket, and hopefully that should give us a nice growing medium to have a go with some of these other seeds and plants. There you go. I'm pretty sure that'll be fine for either starting some seedlings off in, although I have got pure compost for that, or transplanting these tomatoes in. So here are the tomato plants I've been nurturing back home on my conservatory windowsill. First of all, I need to take out the weeds. These are two more of those weeds that keep growing in that soil. I think that one's fallen over. Now these are tomato moneymaker, and since last year I have learned that you mustn't handle the stems of these. What you need to do is handle them by the leaves. It's something to do with the hairs, I'm not entirely sure. So because I didn't sow these in individual seed trays, which I normally do, like these, it's going to be a little bit more awkward to get these out and into bigger pots. And I'm just debating whether I want to put them into their final position, or whether I just want to sort of put them into larger pots so that they can sort of develop a bit better. I'll have a think about that and come back. Okay, this is Hydrolica, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. This is what I used for my hydroponic setup. This is the medium that I grew everything in, and this is like left over. I wasn't sure what to do with it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it as a little bit of ballast at the bottom of these flower pots, just to act as an aid to drainage. Now, I don't really know if it will make a difference or not, but I don't know, it just kind of seems like a good idea. So I've decided I'm going to put some of these tomato plants, seedlings, in these pots and then bring them on further here in the polytunnel, and I'll put some other ones in their final growing position. I'm probably going to put some in those growing bags outside as well. So it's just a case of making a little hole, and let's find a nice healthy one. There's one. It's going to be awkward. My problem this year was I was in a massive hurry because the van sort of took priority. The planting sort of took a bit of a back seat, so this is why I ended up scattering the seeds over a tray rather than doing them individually. I just didn't have the time. But hopefully next year I should go back to normal and plant them in the regular individual trays, and that hopefully will make life a little easier. Hold them by the leaves, not the stem. Big root ball there. There we go. I want to grow one tomato plant in this pot. I'll probably leave it in the polytunnel. This is just a pot that's been lying around in my shed for years, but it'd be ideal. So I think what I'll do is I'll get some of that hydraulica in here in the bottom of it. Hopefully that'll help with the drainage. And I shall fill this up. It's going to take quite a lot of soil. This is why I've watered down the rich compost with the general ground earth, just to kind of make the compost go a little bit further. I think what I'll do is I'll put a handful of that stuff from the reservoir in as well. A good mix. I'll just top that off with the compost that I just made. Ooh. Wood lice, don't want them. Right, I need to choose a really high quality tomato plant to get rid of that weed and that one. They're all pretty good. There's quite a strong one there. Let's go for him. There we go. He looks quite good and healthy. Right, I'm just gonna hold him by the leaf, just close in around him. There we go. That's a big pot for one little plant, but hopefully he'll do well. That's what I love about being able to come out here and do this. Doesn't matter about a little bit of dirt, it's all natural. They actually taste like radish. If you've ever bought radish in the supermarket, they'll be very mild, a bit watery, not strong taste. This is very strong taste. Very, very oniony, very, very, you can feel the heat as well. Absolutely fantastic. And I think that's the difference between properly grown radish and ones that are, I presume are hydroponically grown, or the ones that they sell in the supermarket. And there's no rubbish on this, as far as I know. I haven't put any pesticides, herbicides, anything like that. I've just had ground, you know, earth, compost, water and sunlight, and they always say you are what you eat, so I'm sure there's a moral there somewhere. I can't think of it right now, but yeah, highly recommended. This just goes to show how pervasive weeds and grass are. It's the tiniest little hole in the covering there, and it's got grass growing through it. Now, this is a bucket that I pulled in from outside. It's got a few strawberry plants in it, and I remember last year literally just getting a big scoop of earth off the ground and then planting these strawberries in it, just temporarily to just to house them over the winter. So I'm going to replant these today, and then I can use this soil because it's just mud from the ground. I'm going to mix it into this compost that I've retrieved from the composter. So again, that's going to water down the compost, make it go a little bit further. Now these are self-watering containers. I had a couple of them lying around in the shed at home, and it's a very simple but very good design. It's basically a rectangular pot, and it's got this strange thing, this little sort of barrier in it, and what happens, let's just get rid of that soil, the barrier sits on the bottom there, and it's got a filling tube, and all that happens is you use this tube in a funnel to fill this up with water. And so this is the idea is you fill it up so that the water level is just beneath this, and then the root system of whatever you're growing can dip in and find water beneath it, and it means you can generally kind of water this and then walk away and forget about it for, you know, sort of quite a few days at a time, and your plants will constantly have a supply of water. You can also actually see down the tube as to how much water you've got. So it's quite a good little design, and I think I'm going to use these to transplant those strawberries into. Now I know there will be people watching this saying, no, you really must use, you know, all new soil, and that's all very well, but when you're talking on an allotment scale, that can get very, very expensive, buying soil in, you know, on that kind of scale. So I'm trying to save a bit of money where I can. So like I say, using soil from the ground and then mixing in your own compost from the composter, that's sort of my experiment this year. I'm going to see whether it's going to be a viable thing or whether I really do need to start with brand new fresh soil. Right then, let's take our long pot. We're going to put our strawberry plants in here. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix in a bit of rock dust as well. Forgot all about that. Right, rock dust will give you a mineral boost to your soil. It'll enrich the soil with the minerals and trace elements that the food you're growing really needs and your body needs. So hopefully we should get some nice nutritious strawberries out of this. There's a couple of plants there. I wonder if I can tease them apart. I really want to break the roots up, but okay, I'm just going to plant those in there. Got 3 in now. I don't think those little ones will fit. Soil. That knocking noise is getting quite annoying. I'm going to have to tape it up, I think. So there we go. Let's just give those a little bit of a wetting down. I'll give them a proper watering later on. Now a YouTube friend of mine, mbreak1, who happens to be a local lad, he lives in the same town as me, he's challenged me to a carrot growing contest. So it's he's actually got a head start on me because he's already planted his carrots, but I've been kind of waiting, well, first of all till I had some time to be able to sort of come out here and have a play the way I am doing today, but also I've been waiting to find the right container, and yesterday I managed to acquire this. A neighbour was throwing it out, and I thought that could be just what I need. So I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some soil in there. I'm also going to use some of that soil I made earlier with the compost. I'm going to fill this right up, and I'm going to use this to grow my carrots in. Now, if you don't already know, the key to growing good carrots is you mustn't have any lumps in the soil, because every time a carrot hits a lump, it deflects it off into another direction, and you end up with these bent and wobbly carrots. So the only way around it, as far as I can see, is to get your soil as fine as possible. I'm just sifting this. Now there are some tiny little stones in there, but I don't think there'll be too much of a problem. As long as I don't end up with big stones like that, we should be fine. Now, if you want to join us in our little carrot growing competition, then there's no prize, it's just a bit of fun, but do feel free to join in. Obviously leave a little note below, and obviously we'll need to see a video at the end of the season just to see how you've got on. In the meanwhile, if you want to check out mbreak1's channel, YouTube channel, I shall put an annotation link here. Now Mark's got some really good videos. He spends a lot of time on his videos as well. He's done a few documentaries which are really interesting. He's done a few on the local area, and also he's got a lot of gardening video logs, and it would be great to go over there and say hi and give him your support. Okay, on with the sifting. Right then, that was heavy moving this here. What I've decided to do, this is where my special prize carrots bed is going to be. It's just tucked behind my two vines and grapevines. Just sit that down a little bit flatter, and that'll do it. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to plant. Oh, and look how fine that soil is. That is beautiful. That's really, took ages to sieve it, but that's a combination of the raised bed soil, the compost from the composter, and some of that compost I made earlier today as well. And I've also put some rock dust in there just to sort of help it along. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to grow 6 carrots in this, and I'm kind of hoping that they're going to do okay. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be much longer than that. If they are, they'll be, you know, I know when people go for competition for growing carrots, they go for the length, but normally what happens is it gets really spindly and thin at the end, but they still count that bit of the root. I'm not really interested in that. What I want is a really good fat carrot. That's basically what I'm hoping for. So I'm just going to give this soil another little rake over with a fork just to loosen it up as much as I can. I'm not going to press anything down, and then I'm just going to pop, I'll probably pop 12 seeds in, two next to each other, and then whichever carrot is the strongest I'll let grow, and I'll snip away the other one. And hopefully it'll be a case of watch this space and we'll see what we produce. Looking forward to this. Right, that's about as finely tilled as it's going to be, and I'm not going to press anything down. The actual carrot seed that I'm using is an F1 variety, and it's called Sweet Candle. Now this is apparently it's popular among show growers, and the reason I found that out was because I watched the Allotment Diary channel, which is Dan's channel, and a few weeks ago Dan actually put a video up on showing you how to grow, or how he grows his show carrots, and this is where I'm getting this information from. So do be sure to go and check out, if you don't already subscribe to it, go and check out Dan's channel, and once again I'll put an annotation link on this video and in the notes below at the end of the video. So I'm literally just going to put 2 seeds in each 1/6 of the bed. Okay, there we go. So that's the carrots in. So watch this space and I'll let you know how we get on. Oh, I'm getting too old for this. So that's about it for this gardening video. I hope it was useful to someone. I should be going off home shortly. I've just got to harvest some salad greens and some radish, and maybe a bit of kale as well. And I've got to water everything as well. That reminded me. And then I'm off home for the weekend. I hope everybody has a great weekend. It's a bank holiday weekend if you're in the UK. It's the May bank holiday. So personally I stay away from the roads on May bank holiday because the roads just become one giant traffic jam, and it's just something I just don't want to get involved with. So I should be pottering around the house, doing a bit of tidying up, and I'll probably be back here over the weekend just doing more pottering and planting and having a great time, and if I do I might even film it. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great rest of the day, have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.